you ready, Fred? You want me to do it again?
For the record.
On the record, I'd like to call to order the Jackson County Board of County Commissioners meeting for March 9th. Commissioner Hill, would you please do a prayer and then we'll do the pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Next. All right, Ms. Willan.
Yes, sir. We have several additions in section 1. Number 16 is to request board approval to change the special meeting times. 17, request board approval of an FDOT agreement. Number 18, request board approval to obtain a proposal for design services. Number 19, request board approval of change order number 1. And lastly, number 20, to update to the board regarding right-of-way mowing and litter removal.
Okay. Anything else? Ms. Daniel?
That's all.
Okay, do I hear a motion? Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Page. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Donfro. All those in favor, raise your right hand. The agenda is passed. Okay, moving along. The consent agenda items. Has everyone had a chance to review them? Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner McKinney. Any questions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. All those opposed, like sign, motion carries 5-0. Okay, I understand we will not have Ms. Cindy here. Is that correct?
I should have made that a deletion. She's had a death in the family, will be unable to attend.
Okay. Ms. Christie and Grace, you're up.
Good morning, board. My first item is a report from follow-up on the use of funds as stated in the tourist development plan that was requested at the last county commission meeting. After reviewing the tourist development plan further and reviewing statutes and guidelines, the best answer I would say is that any of the projects that we're going to hit on would be looked at on a case-by-case basis. It's hard to blanket them all under one specific yes or no. The statute uses very specific language as to what can and cannot be done, and we would need to consider each of these projects on a case-by-case.
Anybody got any questions? Okay. Ms. Christie, I'm the one that raised the question on that, and I think it's 125. Back here, but looks like 125. Let's see. It says to acquire, construct, extend, enlarge, remodel, repair, improve, maintain, operate, or finance public facilities within the boundaries of the county or sub-county special tax district, in which taxes levied if the public facilities are needed to increase tourist-related business activities in the county or sub-county. Then tourist council has to approve it. Those are authorized uses of revenue. 125.
125.0104, section 5, item 6. That is not applicable to us because if you read the provisions listed out under that, I think it's A through D. It lists very specific criteria, one of them being that we have to collect $2 million in tourist development tax revenues per fiscal year, and we do not do that. So item 6 of that section, we are not actually eligible for. We are eligible for 135.
What part did you say?
I think it's like item I.
Yeah.
All right, so on 125.0104, Section 5, Item 6, the sub letter A of that says, in the county fiscal year immediately preceding the fiscal year in which the tax revenues were initially used for such purposes, at least $10 million in tourist development tax revenue was received. That's the first thing that's under there that allows you to do item number 6 on the use of funds. So since we don't collect $10 million in tourist development tax revenue, we cannot use the funds for things that are specifically listed under item 6.
So we can't use funds to improve, tourist development in our county.
We can for items 1 through 5. That's why it needs to be on a case-by-case basis, because there are provisions that allow us to do other items that kind of help alleviate some of this, limitation.
Okay.
That's why I say on case-by-case basis.
All right, well, we want to make sure that we, spend our funds by the law, but by all means, take advantage of everything we can to utilize it. Commissioner Hill?
Give some example would be,
One through,
case by case of what generality would be able to do for.
historically speaking, is like what we've done in the past, or historically speaking, in terms of
Where you use references, that all references of county,
So it depends on the county, again, because if you look at any of our neighboring counties, especially the coastal communities, if they fall under different guidelines, they all pretty much are able to do item 6. The easiest one is promote advertised tourism in the state of Florida. Any of your administration costs, that includes like operating visitor centers, museums, anything like that. Any of our other incurred expenses that we do on a normal marketing and advertising basis.
Basically, marketing, reimbursement, advertising.
That's a,
Is it in both brands?
again, case by case basis on those.
That's all.
We need to look at the statute and see what exactly you're looking to do and see if it falls within those guidelines. And then, there just has to be a legislative determination basically that is a.
We have somebody reach out to do that.
Yeah, I mean, you can get an attorney general opinion if you would like to take it that far. And the biggest kicker in all of these is most of the reference items that we have were before the statute changed. So that item 6 was added into the tourist development tax statute back in, the bill was presented in 2017 and it was adopted in 2018. So that completely changed the way our funds were used. So in the past, there were projects and we have master plans that list projects that would bring in tourist development council or tourist development tax revenues to fund them. That since 2018, we're not able to do those. But we helped with the bathrooms at Madison Street Park and the facilities at Citizens Lodge previously. And I know that we had worked with the city of Marietta looking at some lights and infrastructure out there. But since that statute changed and we do not collect $10 million in tourist development tax revenue, we cannot do those projects anymore. They were legal at that time, but they are not now.
Yeah, also, I went forward for a number of years, serving chairman for a number of years as well. And I recall being able to use DEC funds for a number of capital improvement projects, which you just specifically stated. But I think prior to the statute changing in 2017, which I guess might change, I know there was a specific prohibition in the statutes that said PDC dollars could not be used for boat ramps. Do you recall that provision? It seemed like I remember hearing that from previous TDC directors that we were able to use funds for some capital improvement projects, but boat ramps were specifically prohibited.
It doesn't, I don't think it specifically prohibits boat ramps in the statute. I don't know like word for word. I know it's pretty much word for word, but I don't remember it saying in there that it cannot be specifically used for boat ramps. Because there are instances in when I guess that would be an eligible expense, but again, case by case basis, and it would just depend on how it's being used.
Mr. Hill?
So since that's changed, obviously, this county our size that made it implemented something to approval. What I don't want to see is we come up with the idea that when they order, you got to get a general opinion on it. I mean, to me, it looks like it could be a delayed process to get that authorization. If we could have some type of list that says, okay, since 2018, implementation of this bill, these have been active, yeah, subsection 6 on that. So is there any way to get away that kind of?
There's not, because each county is different, their priorities are different. All it falls down to what their tourist development plan states are their key projects, their number one priority. And that's gonna vary based on the
So
county.
we're basically going to, as you're speaking, we're stuck in administrative cost being reimbursed and advertising. So that's pretty much the dominant thing we're doing. Don't look like we're going to be able to improve anything besides advertising.
There are ways to, yes, sir. But like I said, case by case. It just depends on what's being done. But we also have to look at the fact that we're collecting for 4% on the dollar, so we collect the 4 pennies. And right now, our funds are allocated out in the best way we feel, and there's not much wiggle room to even take on any of those other projects.
What do we have?
Like in our operating budget or as a whole, like with our lockbox operating budget this year and our carry forward, I'd say 3.2 million. But some of that's been promised. It's not been spent, but it has been promised as matching fund.
We always.
Mr. Donovan, use the mic.
I know the 2 of the 4% actually went each year as a lockbox. Is that correct?
Previously, there is the 0.75% that's still going into the lockbox at the moment. So we're actually bringing 3.25% or the 3.25 pennies worth into the DMC operating budget.
3/4 of a penny is going into the lockbox annually. How much is in those funds?
In the lockbox,
In the lockbox.
around 2 million.
Mr. McKay, you got anything?
In reading this,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think what they're. The thing, and there is some things that we can do. If you say,
I can't just give a blanket statement, yes.
But there is some things, we talked yesterday, and if you got an idea of this.
If we do have an idea of what it is, how we can maybe run a change to where there's not a way project or something.
I don't know if it has to specifically always have an attorney general opinion. I think we could be able to work with our county attorney and get an answer to some of those.
Excuse me, go ahead.
I just wanted to say, I think she was talking about an extreme case for the Attorney General. In the past, just in the Michelle, she gives us an opinion, just a legal opinion. It's not a cumbersome process.
This is more local, right?
But if it were to be a she's unsure and we really need an attorney, we could, but that would, I have to be an extreme case.
Yeah. It's very rare that you submit an AGO request on something like this. It's gotta be we're stopped. We don't have.
Okay. In reading the statute, though, it looks to me like it encourages the use of that money to develop tourism. What we're thinking about doing, we're going to take some of them, I think, would fall within the purview, but we'll discuss that later. Okay, anything else? Thank you, Christie.
Got item number 4, so you started on.
Right.
So this is an approval of a facilities use agreement with Weight Watchers for the Rest House. They have been using it, though I honestly don't know for how long. When I came on board in 2015, they already had an agreement of sorts in place to use the facility. It's used one night a week, and they have been paying $200 monthly. They had a break-in service during the aftermath of Hurricane Michael, and then since COVID-19, they haven't been meeting, and they have recently reached out to us and would like to resume.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Hill. Is there a second?
Second question.
Okay, second by Commissioner Donovan. Go ahead, Commissioner Donovan.
200, is the amount 200 or $300? Correct.
They have been doing $200 a month.
So is that your recommendation of $200 per month?
If it's at, then there's 200, then yes, sir.
Any more questions? Okay. By Commissioner Hood to approve the request All those in favor?
Thank you. I'll also distribute all of my Twitter guides. This has been a long coming project that we finally seen.
Our internet's dropping in and out.
Okay, we have a motion, second by Commissioner Kenny. I do have one question. Last time this came up, there was a question about curbing.
Yes,
Was that taken care of?
yes, so the curbing wasn't in the plans, and the reason for that is because it's on an angle and a slope, so the water was going to go down onto the parking lot and drain off.
Go ahead, Commissioner Payne.
Handicap sign.
Not yet, so we can hold it until the signs are put up, but they said it had an order, and they're waiting on them to get here. So we're gonna hold, for the next 2 months.
Wait.
Yes, we
Oh, good.
so I'll be your request to approve opinion.
Yeah, do we want to do that? I need that. Sign. I'll make it. All the, make sure it's covered.
Okay.
Okay. Have a motion by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Kenny. Okay, anything else? Any questions? All in favor, raise your right hand. Okay, motion carries 5-0.
Okay. Next item is after board approval of certificate on completion for the contract after building
Got the mute.
roof repair, so this project is 100% complete and requesting board to chairman to sign that and all the rest down here.
Have a motion by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Payne. Any questions?
And then we say to make sure.
Yes, so we have the inspections from the county building department as well as the electrical.
Okay, all those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, like, motion carries 5-0. Next.
So asking for another certificate of final completion for a contract 2021-02, Blues Required Fence Repair. And this is gonna authorize the chairman sign and approve $12,585.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner McKinney, second by Commissioner Payne. Any questions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries 5-0. Next.
Okay, we're asking the board to approve or to award RFP 2021-10 to Cintas for the county uniform services contract negotiations.
So, motion by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Donifred. Any questions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries 5-0. Next, Mr. Fox.
Okay, the next one is to board request to approve the highest ranking tender RFP 21-11, generator maintenance services to Thompson Gas. So we'll begin contract negotiation review.
I move to award the, generator services to Thompson County and authorize county staff to review.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Fay to approve this request, second by Commissioner Kent. Any questions?
One question for clarification of this, the 11 generators, this includes that through the, one share, one for all.
Yes. That includes the one at Marion, PE, also.
You okay? Right. Okay. Any more questions? All right. Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, the next request I have is to award RFP 21-13, health department generator, there's a loader, so just adding another, see there in the description there, adding a breaker to allow the air to back the entire building. So this contract will be for $25,875.
Fay, second by Commissioner Hill. Any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, the next item I have is to approve the cleaning service contract from RFP 2021-09.
Second by Commissioner Donifro. Any questions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, the last item I have here is board approval to sign owner's certificate regarding eminent domain for economic development administration project. So this is for Project Blue Sky. And in order for us to move forward on the project, they need us to certify that we're not going to use eminent domain on the property. But we already own it, so there won't be any eminent domain to speak of.
Is that
I
the
think
Requirement.
that's the grant for required.
We changed the
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Fay.
So
Go ahead.
this is requirement, for the grant as itself for the state. We'll be taking it on ourselves.
Yeah, so basically, they need it for all their agreements, just a blanket form for them to sign, they just.
Probably a form that, yeah, you just got to check off. Yes, Ms. Daniel.
It's just saying that you're not using eminent domain, that's all.
Oh, it's not, I was like, moving forward. Okay.
Any more questions? Okay. Have a motion by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Fay. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries 5-0. Scotty Taylor.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning, sir.
First item is request board approval of awarding RFP 2021 ENG RFP 001C services for County Road 167 Fairview Road pavement markings and signage project. Project the highest ranked firm, Melvin Engineering. This is a safety project funded by federal funds through FDOT to restrict kind of highways to county line on 167 Fairview Road.
Okay. Have a motion by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Fay. Questions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries 5-0. Next.
Thank you. Next item is I'm that third edition. You want to do them? I'm up here.
Daniel, go ahead.
Can we go back to the last one? What was the amount of that agreement? It's not listed yet. Have you negotiated?
Yeah, I didn't stick it in.
Right.
I'll correct that. Print it off, got the wrong one there. But it was negotiated in a approved by DOT and all the funds for that. So then it was, I get three, but I'll get that information to you. I'll get that to you. I just got it back from DOT. Everything's
That's what it
funded
is,
through.
your band. I don't know how to get Michelle's name.
All right, you got some more.
I do, I got them.
Janet took hers over everybody else's.
Y'all put it out. I'll sit down.
Why is it not showing us who's speaking?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Do it.
that's my fault. Why is it not doing that?
Doing his.
I don't see any setting for that.
Change it to 2,000.
Yeah, all of yours, Scotty. Go
That
ahead.
just changed it on
Next
mine.
item is, request board approval to attain, proposal for design service for San Reese Church
Only thing I can
Road
suggest
under the continuing
is
services contract, all the aisles
Judge.
on the list. Get the proposal and then the price on it, I'll bring it back to the next board meeting for approval. And that would, the work, everything will be paid for through, District 5's, paid money that was allotted in the budget this year.
Okay, which project was this?
It'll be San Reese Church Road, I'm just like, I just want to get approval to go and get the proposal from all the Ohio and everything, and I'll bring the actual, agreement, contract, everything back next board meeting.
I've, a motion by Commissioner Hill,
Second.
second by Commissioner Donifro.
I got 17.
No.
Yeah, 17 is the FDOT agreement, including.
Says Will and Dan.
That's what
Oh, well, he should actually do it. Just my name.
Okay, we-
All right,
I just wanted to make clear. to
any
Maria.
questions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries 5-0. Go ahead, Mr. Taylor.
Next item, request board approval of change order number 1, contract final pay application and the CEI final pay application. And sign the certificate of completion for County Road 162, HMGP project. That's the area that we raised the road up to the pipes in. This is, I've got to get the final, lien release from Anderson Columbia because they paid this project after, GCEC had finished it last April, but we kept the upper lift off so we could have one continuous through there. And, this be it.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Hill. Second by Commissioner Page. Any questions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries 5-0.
All right, my next item is an update on the mowing and the lift pickup. Currently, right now, mowing, we started this morning, with the 5 positions we got filled. Started mowing, or they were getting ready to go out. I know exactly where they started later, but, we're gonna try to get started today. But, we have 5 operators who stayed on through the winter months. They perform different tasks, maintenance on the equipment, roadside mowing and airport continue to grow. And then 2 of them work together with that, the buzz bar, brush cutter that we got. And they also, we mowed pretty much everything that we could in Compass Lake because we didn't want the trees to start growing up on it. Where we're gonna try to handle that is before we start mowing every year and then kind of mow it afterwards. Or, you know, if we have to go get something in between, but a lot of those aren't paid, but we don't want to start growing up. But then I say on the litter, the inmates, they started last week. They lost a couple of days of rain that they managed to pick up all the way through Blue Springs both sides. It's about 9 miles. So they worked about a total of 3 days. About 3 miles in average for them walking, picking up, which isn't too bad.
They did a good job.
And they did, and so I jumped them over, let them go down Cartersville and Woodbriar, and then they're on Hinesville, and then they're gonna get through, like, Fairview and then into
you have something different.
Have one format.
What? Anybody, well, the attorney's on the line. You look at
She is online.
Well, I just, the way it was presented to us is it states to and from. In the past, they've only did to. But if the statute says to and from for us to be in compliance, then it needs to say to and from.
We can just pass that.
Is that your motion? Mr. Hill made a motion that we approve, subject to clarification by the attorney, the to and from question. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Payton. Any questions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Now, Ms. Lindy.
Commissioner, the first item is a request to set a public hearing for a general development order for Wayne Delta Property Holdings. This is for building to be known as Wendy's Restaurant, and it will be located at 2200 Highway 71 South in unincorporated Jackson County. And the total
Carries 5-0. We did skip number 16. We'll come back to it as soon as Wendy's finished. Go ahead.
The next item is the request for approval of two separate affidavits for accessory structures for building services and the planning division of community development. The applicants will attest to the fact that accessory structures are not habitable structures when they apply for development orders and permits.
Any questions? Is there a motion?
I'll offer a motion to approve the affidavit.
I have a motion by Commissioner Donald, second by Commissioner McKinney. Why are we doing this?
We are doing this because people are moving into these sheds and structures as if they are residences, and they're not. They're uninhabitable. They're meant to be utility sheds, for
What,
example.
how many people do we have in this county that are living in those type facilities?
I can't give you a number at this point,
So
but they're everywhere.
they're in. Daniel?
I was just going to say that at the last meeting, this was one of the recommendations of the planning commission that we never formally brought up for your official consideration. You all just discussed it. And so the thought behind the affidavit is it's just a proactive measure. It's not addressing the issue that's already out there. It's saying proactively, we're trying to put people, make them aware that they're not habitable, so that we can hopefully get a hold of the problem.
Right, right, it's very difficult. Well, I'm gonna ask a question. Go around and do it. How much of this you see a lot?
I see some, I'm sure that there's more, but not.
course, in my district, I don't see very much at all, but traveling around the county, just like I'm contemplating those, I saw a couple of, like, for residential structures. So I've seen them around the county. You see where it's a problem.
We're talking all over this, and I just don't see a lot. I do know there's some out there that are living in these sheds, but I don't, until we can identify the problem, quantify it, do we really need to react? Yes, sir, Mr. Page.
That's what our special meeting for, right?
Yes.
With,
We're not discussing this at a special meeting, or y'all are gonna talk about recreational vehicles.
Or do, we had that housing special meeting for housing, we're supposed to do another one sometime here in the near future. I think this would be more appropriate at that meeting than here.
Well, and, I certainly, yeah, the problem may not be as bad as what we perceive, but there is a problem with litter. And I think if this keeps it from happening, in the future, it probably wouldn't be proactive. I mean, it will keep us from having to impact as many people in the future whenever we.
That will come in and put in their development orders, we can have those who don't. And from the housing perspective as well, we're seeing a lot of people living in these sheds, in the April, I believe, Mr. Beasley's gonna come give a report to you all, you'll be able to. them like other times. So it's not uncommon to have them with local permits or with residential development.
Okay, any more questions? We have a motion by Commissioner Donovan, second by Commissioner Kenny. All those in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, like sign. Okay.
For board approval to change
Sarah, did you have something? Okay. Anyone else have anything? Yeah. The rest? Yeah. Yeah, let's go ahead and do the round table for the special meeting. All right. Ms. Willan.
I don't think Jill is connected, we're having internet issues, but I'll just be available back on the computer.
Okay.
But I do have one roundtable item, and that is we have a invoice, or a proposal that I just need, authorization to sign for a striker of ProCare services for our cardiac monitors. And, it's in the amount of $5,400, which is budgeted, but because it appears to be a contract, I was wanted for the chairman to sign.
So, motion by Commissioner Fields, second by Commissioner Donald. Any questions? All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries 5-0.
And since we have a few minutes to spare, I'm going to share with the board, we're looking at the litter more holistically. So we have it out to bid. Scotty's working with Jamie to have some intakes out, do what we can in the meantime. And then also, we are going to be presenting to the board at the next meeting. The national fund that we would only, or, some kind of, something catchy that people can work with. And so the sheriff and I went out and met with Lou and Law and Mariana High School yesterday to shoot a video with handing out bags for their cars and and then working with RCC, maybe have for Jackson County on maybe some beautification projects that could, it would be just a holistic approach of take pride in our community. And so, something that I did want to say, actually pointed to me from RCC is that he thinks that there's time Hurricane Michael, because the fact that we can even notice the litter is very telling that we're at a place in recovery where that's actually litter. And we're trying to really play off of that and show the positive side of, hey, we're to a place in recovery. Let's all do our part and get out and take pride in it. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Donald.
Just to follow up on what you said, I think the litter problem has become extensive. There are some roads, Cartersville, for instance, and a couple of other roads that travel around the county where it literally looks like we're living in third world country. It's beyond acceptable. So I'm glad that we're being proactive and looking at a number of different ways to try to get a handle on the problem. And I think hopefully with bids coming in on March 16th, we'll be able to get a handle on it. It really has gotten really bad on some roads. To me, it's a little bit unacceptable. The other item that I had was, I didn't know that we were changing the 1 o'clock to 10 o'clock. I may have to scoot out of here a little early if the meeting runs so 12 o'clock. It's not town.
Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Pate, Commissioner McKinney.
Well, that's been excited. Well, go ahead and make sure we keep the road patched up for that open on the road. Appreciate that. And I'm just feeling my brother. I also want to hear a few about some striking College Drive and Waste.
All right. Danielle? Clay?
No, I just want to apologize for being late. We were picking the jury at the accident.
Okay, sir. Thank you. I got a couple of things. I think the last meeting, we voted to convey some property to Mr. Shell. And I call him Sugar. And he called me, he wants to put up a sign. And he wants to thank the Board of County Commissioners and say that this piece of property, I forget what it is, but service station, motel, whatever he's putting there. Just thank the Board of County Commissioners. And I told him I would bring it up to see if there was any objection.
We also asked, you to remember us for helping with my recommendation, his recommendation was just do something that would thanks to the Board of Commissioners, and I think he actually needs to put this in their hands, but he provides utilities to
make sure the board was aware of it. Ms. Willan, are you going to brief us at some point about the household garbage, the appliances,
Yeah.
we're going to have the numbers of what it costs to run the grapple truck, right? Well, I know our grapple trucks have to run continuously picking that stuff up. The next thing I got is we have been in the process of preparing to convey some land to Mr. Downs for economic development. And we need to have that land surveyed out. And I need permission from the board to let Lee Anderson, we have a continuing contract with him, prepare a survey and give us a legal description so we can complete the necessary document to complete this transfer. Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Hill. Second by Commissioner Pate. What's the question?
So we'll go out for charges on that, obviously the limit.
Well, I'll get a proposal, if that feels reasonable, and I'll give it approval if it's out, we'll regroup.
Time is of essence on this because we do have a project that we're looking at and we're going to need to move quickly. Any more questions?
I have one.
Let me take my vote and I'll answer your question. Okay. We have a motion by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Pate. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries 5-0. Yes, Ms. Deborah. And I've been repeating the motion. You haven't been listening.
I've been trying. The land.
Come out to the microphone. Yeah.
Thank you. The land you're talking about, where is that? Down and down's first name, and what is the, economic development project on it?
I can tell you that the land that's there in our industrial site, his first name is John. That's all I'm telling you.
How much land is it?
There's 100 acres.
And why aren't you telling me more?
I'm sorry, what?
Why aren't you telling me more?
Because I'm going to hold it in confidence at this point. I don't want to endanger the project.
Is it land you're conveying, as a courtesy or as money exchanging
It is being transferred.
at no cost to the
No
person?
cost.
And when you say the industrial site, are you talking about,
Behind us, the 671 acres. If you want, I can talk to you after.
so this is not land associated with, the old dozier?
It is.
It is.
Okay.
Is